From KSL Broadcast House, this is Sunday Edition with the Deseret News and KSL.
Good morning. Welcome to Sunday Edition. I'm Dave McCann. We begin with money, politics, and power. 2 resignations, a reinstatement, and a billionaire donor seemingly left holding all the cards. It's been that kind of week at the University of Utah and the Huntsman Cancer Institute. Deseret News reporter Daphne Chen has been on the front line of this story and is with us this morning. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you.
So you break the story of this 7-page document that was supposed to be confidential that revealed a whole lot about this whole thing, kind of got it all started. What was in it?
Yeah, so this 7-page document showed that the Huntsman family, through the Huntsman Cancer Foundation, was asking for a lot more authority and control at the Huntsman Cancer Institute from the University of Utah. Specifically, they wanted the CEO and director, Mary Beckerly, to have control of the finances and to have control of faculty hiring decisions, which is a sore spot for a lot of faculty members because of the sensitivity of academic appointments.
So who are the players here? There's really 4 key players. Who are we talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, this all started when Mary Beckerly, the CEO and director of the Institute, was fired from her position 2 weeks ago. Fired
by Vivian Lee?
Correct, yeah. Fired by Dr. Vivian Lee, who's the healthcare chief at University of Utah. That decision was also made with University of Utah President David Pershing and the Board of Trustees.
And then there's, of course, John Huntsman.
Yes, you cannot forget about the Huntsman family. John Huntsman, who helped found the Huntsman Cancer Institute, of course, in the 90s, was all over the media talking about how this was a very unfair decision, that they had no idea was coming.
What did Vivian Lee want?
Yeah, so that's really interesting. I mean, what the University of Utah wanted, University of Utah Health and Vivian Lee wanted, is kind of to integrate the healthcare system, bring in different departments together, kind of break down those walls and transform healthcare, kind of fix the healthcare system by making healthcare more efficient and cheaper for patients.
And then maybe what, use some of that Huntsman money for cancer research to fund other research projects?
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, it would involve pooling resources and revenues that they generate.
And that that's what didn't sit so well with Mr. Huntsman, right?
Yeah, he and his son, Peter Huntsman, have been very, very firm. They want all the money that Huntsman Cancer Institute generates to stay in cancer, and for a large chunk of that to go into cancer research, which is, you know, what the Institute was founded for, to find a cure. So
President Pershing then backs Vivian Lee on this. Do you think he had any idea what was coming as far as the fallout?
You know, talking to people who are business management experts, people, sources on both sides of the situation, it seems like they didn't really know what they were unleashing when they dismissed this very popular and beloved Cancer Institute director.
Okay, so there's the unleashing and your report. And so what happens? What happens with Vivian Lee?
Yeah, so obviously huge outcry. David Pershing, the president, reversed his decision, rehired Beckerly into the position, and Dr. Lee resigned several days later. That came as quite a surprise to the university, from what I'm told. And
then President Pershing announces his resignation a year earlier than he had hoped.
Yeah, and so what you have now as far as fallout is 2 of the 3 top leaders at the university either resigned or about to resign. Although President Pershing did mention he had planned to resign long before this.
So what does that mean for Mr. Huntsman? Does that make him king of the hill?
That's a good question. I mean, it's hard to say who is negotiating on behalf of the university now as far as control over the Huntsman Cancer Institute. The person who's going to replace Dr. Lee in the interim is a well-known predecessor. He was president of the university in interim 2 times, so people think that he's going to kind of stabilize the situation. But it'll be really, really interesting to see how these negotiations play out these 2 weeks.
And then as you look further down the road, how does a new president come in and be the president if there is a donor that has more power than he or she does?
Yeah, exactly. Faculty have expressed concerns about finding a replacement for President Pershing as well as Dr. Lee, given some of the power balances that have been playing out over at the university.
There have been a couple of indicators that maybe a state audit might come in just to see where all the money's going. I don't know if anyone wants that, but what's the reality of an audit? Is that going to happen?
We don't know yet. I mean, legislators have told us that they're going to get some more information and look into it. They've asked, you know, legislative analysts to bring them some information this summer. Whether that turns into an official audit, we'll have to wait and see.
Outstanding piece of work.
Thank you.
Daphne, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate that. You can